This episode of the Spread the Positive podcast is brought to you by the 1200 Club supporters. Huge shout out to our good friends, Mary Fugit with Gateway Title. For all of your real estate closing needs, be sure to hit up Mary over at Gateway Title. The team at Gateway is second to none, and we highly recommend them for all of your real estate transactions, refinancing needs, and anything of the sort. Please check them out. Huge thank you to Mary. As always, we love you. Casey Broach with KK Fitness Training. Casey is a personal trainer on the Faster Way app. She has actually gone through the Faster Way herself. This app has a crazy proven track record of helping people get to their fitness goals quicker with a healthier approach, and it's changing people's lives around the country and around the world. Casey is killing it in this area. She is passionate about helping people. She's done it herself, she believes in it, and she can walk you through this entire process. So be sure to check out at KK Fitness Training on Instagram, and you can reach out to her via email, kkfitnesstraining@gmail.com. Big shout out to you, Casey. Keep killing it. We appreciate your continued support of the 1200 Club here at Spread the Positive. Thank you so much. This episode is also brought to you by Philip Byard with Music City Hardscapes and Music City Pond Pros. Philip is a great example of all things STP, hardworking, impeccable reputation, and even better work in serving his customers. If you need any help in the hardscaping or pond maintenance world, please give my guy a shout. Be sure to check out Music City Pond Pros and musiccityhardscapes.com for more information. Huge shout out to you, Philip. Thank you for your continued support. Last but not least, this episode is brought to you by Pete Adams and Travis Swan over at Adams & Swan. Adams & Swan is your local advertising and digital marketing company that uses a results-driven approach to small and medium business revenue growth. They develop a custom strategy that is specific to your business and create dynamic advertising and digital marketing campaigns that deliver new clients and customers. Check them out at adamsandswan.com. Big shout out to my guys, Pete and Travis. Thank you for the support, guys. Means so much. Can't wait to have you in. Y'all be sure to check them out, adamsandswan.com. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spread the Positive podcast. I'm your host, Trent Denson. As always, got a super special guest with us today, my guy, Scott Stuible. How are you, sir?
Hey, man. Good. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, man. New member of the 1200 Club. Thank you so much for your support. You've been a supporter for a while and supported all things The Soldier's Child and some other things along the way, man. So it's an honor to have you be part of this group and support the mission, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love to see it.
I love it, man. All right. Well, I like to take it back. I've had the honor of sitting down with you a couple times just to get to know you better and stuff. But tell the people, I always like to take it back to young Scott. So early passions, just what childhood was like, anything you want to share along those lines, and kind of what shaped the greatness that we see here today, man.
So, man, grew up in Lansing, Michigan, which most people, in the South, they try to hold that against me when they first meet me. But full blown Southern now, couldn't pay me to move back up north. Lived down here since 2007. Quickly made Murfreesboro home. Just fell in love with the not only the weather but the people, the culture, everything about Murfreesboro.
What year was that again?
2007.
Okay.
2007. Yep. So this is the only home my two daughters who are in high school. This is the only home they've ever had. So this is all they know. And played college football at a small Division II college, so those were the glory days, and now reliving it through my daughters playing sports in high school. So awesome. Just love being a part of this community and being all about everything Middle Tennessee.
I love that, man. And you're super active, man. You do a lot for this community. You've been here going almost 20, man.
Yeah,
that's almost 20
close.
years.
It's getting close.
That's amazing. So you're the owner of Stuible Agency?
Yep.
With Farmers Insurance. So that's the bread and butter. Talk to me about that, man. I know we've kind of talked off mic some. There's a pretty interesting story that brought you down here. Had a lot of success in the warehousing, manufacturing world, and then transitioned into just kind of skipping ahead, but can you tell that story a little bit? Let the people know.
So I always tell everybody, like everybody in Michigan, I was in the auto industry straight out of college. Spent some time in Chicago, then Philadelphia, and then opened a warehouse here in Smyrna, which is what brought me down. Was here a year, and they said, you're moving back to Detroit. And like I said, it quickly, Middle Tennessee became home. So I said, there's no way I'm moving back up north. So small layover in medical device sales, repping.
Right. That's right.
And was there a couple of years, and they said, you're getting moved to Baltimore. And I said, man, that's, again, I'm not looking to leave here. So that's when I decided if I'm going to stay, I need to plant my roots, open my own business. So
I love that.
started my Stuible Agency with Farmers Insurance in February of 2012.
Okay.
So we're at like 12 and a half years now. Haven't looked back. Love it. Love the opportunity. Have a great staff. Just very happy in what we're doing, and love that the business gives me that opportunity to support the things that I hold near and dear to me.
Yeah.
Some local charities and some different opportunities.
That's awesome, man. So 12 and a half years in the insurance world. Bet that's been a wild ride.
It has been. There's been a lot of changes. I tell everybody right now in 2024 we're in probably the most turmoil, at the very least the strangest insurance market that the United States has ever seen. We've got big national carriers just pulling out of areas, whether it's states or regions or even down to the zip code level. Wow. Saying that they can't make the numbers work for insuring those risks. We've got different product lines that people are changing. So I tell people it's the Wild West right now in insurance, and it's important to understand that the insurance that we're used to, I would say our parents' insurance, it's not quite the same any longer, and it's now more than ever important to understand what you're paying for, what you're getting, and then ultimately what you're going to be responsible for in the event of a insurable incident.
Right, man, that's wild. That's really wild. I mean, we both in Believers in Business. Shout out to the Believers in Business crew. Amazing group of people. Y'all should come check it out Thursday morning, 7:30 at Cedar Glade Brews.
Definitely.
Next door to the Spread the Positive Studios. Shameless plug. But I get to hear it weekly, man, and it's always interesting to hear from someone like you, just like an expert in the field, and it's your life. So like just being on top of these things and giving us updates on stuff, like, I mean, it's been really, really crazy. Some of the stuff that you've said over the past few months.
It has been, and it's as consumers we see it, and we've seen it for the last 3 or 4 years in at the gas pump, at the grocery store, at the lumber yard, at every place we buy our goods. Well, we're surprised when we see our insurance rates go up, and especially when we haven't personally had a claim.
Right.
So what we need to remember is, insurance, obviously what we're doing is we're paying into, to make it overly simple, a big bucket. Mm-hmm. And then as people need it, you pull out of that bucket. Right. So it's, typically speaking, if you ever have a home claim that's, anything substantial, a fire, water damage, even sometimes a new roof,
sure,
you're going to pull out of that bucket more than you ever put in.
Right.
So, the problem is everything that's coming out of that bucket is more expensive now.
Right.
It's we had 2020 a standard roof for a house might be $10,000. Now it's probably closer to 25 in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So when you're seeing your insurance rates go up, that's the insurance companies trying to stay solvent enough, have enough money to pay out their claims. So it's important as the insured, you and I paying for our insurance. Insurance companies have I guess addressed this challenge one of several ways. One is they just increase rates, increase premium. We're seeing that across the board. Others have stopped offering options entirely.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of a hybrid model where they're pulling back on some coverages, lessening some line items in the policy at the same time as raising rates, and it's just kind of hedging their bets. So as a homeowner, as a vehicle owner, we need to understand that in the event of a claim, we're probably going to be paying more out of our own pocket now to be made whole again. And that's where it's important to talk to your agent and have that understanding. Make sure you understand. tornado comes through and damages your roof, wind, hail damages your roof, whatever. What is your out-of-pocket responsibility today? Because it's different. In most cases, it's different than it was 5 years ago.
Right. And what are some of those differences? What can people expect?
So it's, it varies company by company.
Sure.
Policy by policy, even within those companies.
Right.
So I always tell people, no one insurance company is all things to all people.
Right.
It's, everybody's got their sweet spot and who and how they want to insure and everything. And which is why it's important to partner with somebody that can look into those things and somebody be honest with you. There's a lot of people I talk to where maybe at this time I'm not a great fit for them, and that's where I tell them, I'm not a good fit now. Sure. Let's look someplace else. Let's do this or what have you. So some of the main changes are just an example I give is on roof coverage. Replacement cost coverage is an industry term. What that means is your loss is covered, full replacement, and you're only out your deductible.
Right.
So to make the math easy, if it's a $20,000 roof and you have a $1,500 deductible, the insurance company is going to cut you a check for $18,500. You're going to pay the other $1,500. Boom, you got a new roof on. Still, several companies will offer that coverage, but there's a lot of stipulations. Maybe the roof has to be less than so many years old. Maybe the roof has to be in certain condition.
Sure.
Things of these nature. More common now, we're seeing what's called actual cash value on a roof. So that means it's going to be depreciated. So to make the math overly easy, and each policy is written a little differently, but if you have a 10-year-old roof that's expected to last 30 years, they're going to depreciate 10 years or 33% of the roof value off of your claim. And that is way more common today than ever before. So I like to give the example of your tires on a vehicle, right? You buy a new vehicle, brand new car, brand new pickup truck, whatever you want to say. Those tires wear out in 70,000 miles. You're going to put new tires on your car, right? You would never think I need to call my insurance agent and put new tires on. Now, if your car's in an accident and the tires are damaged, the insurance is going to replace those tires, but they are going to wear out. We need to start looking at roofs a similar way.
Okay.
Roofs are intended, asphalt shingles are intended to last a certain amount of time, and they will wear out. Yep. And I kind of say it's one of the joys of home ownership that we as homeowners have to start understanding that we will have a financial burden when it's time to replace our roof, whether it's covered by insurance or not. Right. So it's just, unfortunately, that's the state of the industry now, and that's what I try to counsel and educate all my clients on is it's different today than it was, and let's not let any of us be surprised by this.
There you go. That's awesome. What else in the insurance world, man? What's on your heart to let people know about? I mean, that's day in, day out, everything you're about. So just talk to me about that.
So, the reputable insurance companies and insurance agents, which you can't, there's a ton of them in this town. Yep. I have several peers that work for other companies, work for the same company, and I love these men and women that represent the insurance carriers in Middle Tennessee. I think as an industry, we're great, and I would recommend a lot of my competitors when it's responsible and appropriate to do so. So. Right. What I'm getting at is, as you partner with these people, lean on them for their expertise. Yep. If you have a question about a claim, call your insurance agent and talk through it. Me as an insurance agent, it's never my job to talk you into or out of filing a claim. Right. But let's look at it and say, what might this mean to us if we do file a claim? What line item of coverage might cover this event, or do we think that maybe it's not covered? Have those conversations so that the difficult conversation happens up front rather than on the back end. I love that. Because nobody wants a claim on their records in this market. I always say insurance is there to use. You're paying for it when you need it, and it's a covered event. It's there to use, but it's also intended to be for emergencies only. Right. That one piece of siding that blows off in the storm or something. As a homeowner, we're probably going to recommend we fix that out of pocket, and you or I as homeowners, we're probably going to do that anyway. Right. Where again, 15, 20 years ago, it was just call your insurance and have it fixed. Sure. So Now it's understanding the nuances and partnering with a professional agent that can help you navigate through those times.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good stuff. Want to ask you about the 1200 Club, man. Why did you join? Where's your heart with that? And just a little shameless plug if you don't mind.
Yeah, no. I'm happy to do it because I've been talking to several people and peers and other businesses about it. So, what STP does, and as Spread the Positive, it so much of the media and so much of what we see is so negative, and that's what gets ratings and all that. And it's just, this is when you walk and talk with your neighbors, with your colleagues, it's not negative. Right. It's not, you turn on the news at night and you would think the whole world is burning.
Yep.
And you walk out and talk to your community and it's not. And the opportunity to support this at this crucial moment in our country's history and our local community's history, it's just important to me.
That means a lot,
and I see a lot of the other people that you support, it just falls right in line with the people that I want to support and help and have them help me. And
Sure.
That's what a community does. And
exactly.
And I think this is very crucial and just top notch in what is you are accomplishing by bringing this message.
I love that. Thank you. And it's an honor to have folks like you, man. Like, it's just validation. Having, the people, it's strong but mighty, or small but mighty, I should say. And we're growing in a really cool way. It's very organic. It's very authentic, and it takes just one person at a time, like you, kind of signing off and endorsing it. So that means a lot, man. It really means a lot. And I know it comes with a lot of responsibility on my end too. Like having folks like you say yes to something like this is something I don't take lightly. So really means a lot, man. Thank you for this. And I agree, man. Like we have an amazing community here, and there's a lot of awesome stuff that you have to go out of your way to find out about, which is not okay in my book. So that's why we do this, man. That's why we push record, and that's why it's important to me to do this and to have that endorsement, have that validation, man. It means more than you know. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Speaking of, man, I always like to go, this is one of the signature questions. And to your point, we get a lot of what's not working, a lot of what's going wrong. In your eyes, Scott Stuible, what is going right in the world?
Oh man. It's just people taking care of each other.
Yep.
It's happening more than we know.
Yep.
More than like I said, the media wants to hold that down because it gets ratings. You look around and I'll segue over to our Believers in Business networking meeting. We have so many people and visitors and touches within that group of nonprofits helping people, and then even for-profits. People, businessmen and women in the community, partnering with those nonprofits. Some of the local ones that come to mind that are very powerful to me, of course, is Isaiah House.
Yep.
I love what they're doing. A Soldier's Child.
Yep.
A national charity that just loves on the children of our fallen heroes. Nationally, and they're right here.
Daryl and the whole team over to Soldier's Child.
Yep.
Your boy Daryl, man, y'all are tight.
Yeah, and Daryl, I mean, he lives and breathes it, and his whole staff does, and I'm blessed to be a mentor with him, but it's these kids, these young men and women. They just get so much out of that, and that's headquartered right here in Middle Tennessee.
That's
so
awesome.
There's just so much good going on. That we are blessed as a community to live in this part of the country. With our local leadership, our local influences. And we just need to take a second, step back, and realize that, and then get involved in any way we can.
That's right.
You don't need to stroke a big check to make a difference.
That's facts.
And it can be through little things. It can be through kindness.
Yep.
There's so much.
That's
so
right.
Find a way, get involved, and if you're hearing this and don't know, reach out to Trent and Spread the Positive. There's so much good that you can get involved with.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. let's talk about A Soldier's Child, man.
Yeah.
How long have you been involved? How'd you get connected, and why do you love it so much?
Yeah. So, I've known about A Soldier's Child for probably going on 10 years.
Okay.
My wife and daughters used to wrap Christmas gifts
Yes.
for what A Soldier's Child started as was giving Christmas gifts, birthday gifts to children who have lost a parent, in combat or combat related instances. So for 3 or 4 years, my daughters wrapped presents when I was at work. I couldn't do it. Well, then I met Daryl, had the opportunity to learn about, he does these hunting camps.
Yes.
And I have hunting property, and it was just a match made in heaven.
So
It's been this will be my 8th year of being a mentor of different hunting camps. And I've been blessed to be able to do deer, turkey, predator hunt, which is coyote, bobcat, things like that, squirrel, quail. I've gone hog hunting in Georgia. I've gone to Texas family camps with them. It is my, outside of my immediate family, A Soldier's Child is I call it my what for. What are we working for, outside of our day-to-day? A Soldier's Child is it. And I love it because I get to see firsthand how this group takes care of these children. And unfortunately, these children are a somewhat forgotten subset of our society. We had things for the veterans themselves, for the wounded warriors, and I'm not minimizing all that.
No.
Very, very, very important.
Absolutely.
And I love those organizations, but the kids were kind of being left behind. And Daryl Mackin saw the need and filled it and has never looked back.
Yeah.
And when I can see what the efforts, what the dollars, everything that goes into A Soldier's Child, when I can see the end value of the stability, the joy, the love, the everything that is delivered down to these children, it's worth every penny. And I do all I can. I wish I could do more.
I love that. I had the chance to go up to Kentucky for one of the camps, man. It was so special.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to put into words. Like, there were several. We did some recordings up there, and there were several different kids that said a very similar thing about how, sure, I have my support system at home, I have my friends at school, but like when I'm here, it's a whole different level because like everybody's got that common ground. Unfortunately, like it's heartbreaking, but it's also just amazing how comforting that can be for, like, you're not alone. Like this is unfortunately a common thing, and that you can, like, having that group, and nowadays being able to stay in touch with those people, it was just really, really moving to see, man. Like, it really touched my heart. And Soldier's Child, man, we need to get them back going, man. We need to push record. Come on, Daryl, come on down. I know you're crazy busy, but I
think Daryl did, and I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but I think he did 35 or 40 camps last year. So when you look at a 52-week year, I mean, he is moving, man, and just doing great stuff. And if you're local or even not local, and want to get involved, find a way.
SoldiersChild.org. Check it out, man. Check it out. That's an amazing example of what's going right, for sure, man. Shouts to the whole team over there at ASC. They're changing lives in ways that we can never fathom. So, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, another question I always like to ask is, someone in your life that's really living out, or the phrase "spread the positive" comes to mind. Who's somebody in your life that really lives that out? Can't be associated.
Oh man, who is really living out Spread the Positive? Man, I would say, my dad, my mom, they come to mind first off. They've come to Christ later in their life, which has just been an amazing blessing. And when I see them living that, that is what is very impressive to me. we're all battling with things and disappointments and demons and everything, you know, in the background. And when you can just see somebody doing all they can for themselves, for other people, for their families, for people, you know, around them, not even associated with them, you see it in how people interact with each other. You see it with how people push their shopping carts at the Walmart grocery, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
put your card up, man.
Yeah.
Put your card up.
You see it everywhere. So you know, there's a lot of people that are doing that, and it's just, you know, take a second and notice that.
Absolutely, man. So your parents, I love that. That's awesome. Are they here? Where are they? Are
They are still in Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. They come down several months out of the year. You know, every chance they get, but they've still got some roots in Michigan, and you know, trying to get them down here.
Yeah, that's home. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. What's the just wrapping up here, man? Grateful for. Call it the grateful for. 4 things you're most grateful for right now. What you got?
4 things I'm most grateful for. I mean, first is you know, the shed blood of Jesus Christ. You know, without question, to understand what that gives me, what I don't deserve, but I'm just able to live a life that I have here, knowing where I'm going.
That's beautiful.
It's you know, you almost can't put into words, you know, how grateful you are for that. Sure. My family, you know, just I couldn't ask for a better family. 2 sweet daughters, they're my buddies. They go hunting, with me, they go fishing with me, and then they're princesses the minute they get home. You know, it's everything a dad wants in daughters. My business, so blessed to have my business and be able to run it the way that I try to run it, and try to, you know, emulate biblical principles the best I can in there. And then along with that is the staff in the business. Sure. and then just living in this part of the country. You know, we saw it over the last 4 years of turmoil, different things with COVID and mandates and all this going on. You know, we live in a part of the country that I felt is most normal and down to earth and just kind of common sense filled is any place. And that is a blessing.
That is definitely a blessing, man. Well, Scott, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the 1200 Club again. Absolutely. It means more than you know. Thank you for what you do, man. Like just weekend or day in, day out, weekly. The way you lead, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, man. It's something to, you know, it's inspiring in a lot of ways, man. So appreciate you. I appreciate you in a lot of ways, and it's an honor to have you part of this group.
Yeah, it's the honor's all mine. I mean, this is great to be a part of.
Well, I appreciate it, man. We'll wrap this one up. Y'all be sure to. Or how can people find you? Sorry.
Yeah, well, you can see my truck driving around, which you probably have if you're not honking at me. Yeah. No, just the best way is you know, I've got a Facebook presence. You know, most of everybody you know, finds me, calling me, emailing me. 615-281-0052. Best number, reaches me, reaches the office. Reason I don't send people to a website and stuff is it doesn't capture real numbers. It doesn't capture real data. You go to a website and put in one little thing wrong, it's going to spit out an entirely incorrect quote, and it's going to be a bad start to the relationship. Sure. So I would say, you know, I can talk to you for 90 seconds, get real information, spit out a real quote, real proposal, and then we're not, you know, playing catch up on the back end.
That's awesome. So just search Scott Stuible. It'll be in the show notes. He's not hard to find. He's out here in these streets doing amazing things, man. So thank you again, Scott. We'll wrap this one up, and thanks again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy.